Ash. He is not good. The Detroit Lions got their money invested. The Buffalo Bills got Tim Tebow, little brother. Who else? I'm doing this off the dome. Okay, I just pulled it up, y'all. The Miami Dolphins could use him. The Packers could use him. And then the racial slurs. I think he shouldn't get past the racial slurs, the Dolphins, the Bengals, and definitely not the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Giants. If he get that far down the draft, please don't try to explain to me how this is not racially motivated. Dave Gettleman is not a very good arranger of talent, developer of talent. He gets credit for Cam Newton. They got Cam Newton before that. He was just on the staff for Eli. That was a no-brainer. So you don't get no credit for, if Magic Johnson don't get no credit for LeBron James, you don't get no credit for being in the room when they picked Eli Manning. That's all I got to say. Gettleman picked McCaffrey with the 8th pick over Alvin Kamara and Kareem Hunt. Nobody knew about Kareem Hunt, and Alvin Kamara was at Bama and went to Tennessee. So I can't really fault him for that, but it is his job to know those kinds of things. So I get where you're coming from. The Vikings need help on offensive line, depth at cornerback, and a future QB. They need a present QB too. Those are my two brothers, RC and Jungle Brother. Thank y'all, as usual, participating in the show. But you know what, RC? Where the Vikings are picking so low, I don't even think they could get them. Can they get them? Where the Vikings picking at, man? 18? Hey, you never know, man. You never know. With the rate things going in NFL today, man, you never know. It's just kind of weird that a dude who threw 50 touchdowns in 12 games and an NFL league MVP threw 50 touchdowns in 17 games, and you got a kid doing this, and then you don't want to put him in. Hey, man, call me crazy. You know, a lot of people say this race card thing. If it was a such thing as a race card, I would never use it because I ain't playing no damn games. But it's just, hey, man, we just call it the way we see it. And that's just the bottom line. It's awful strange that a dude can throw for 50 touchdowns and not be drafted in one of the top conferences at one of the best schools in all the all the FBS, and you try not to pick him at top 18th pick. I would like to see him there because they got a ton of weapons. They got two gigantically talented, one smaller, one big, Latavius Murray and my man out of Florida State. They got one of the better receivers. They got two of the better receivers in the league, and then you can get you some offensive line in the mix. Alvin Kamara, scouting combine was off the charts compared to McCaffrey. No excuse to make him the 8th pick. I agree, but I can't. You know what? Alvin Kamara was a victim of trying to roll with that dumbass everybody run to one school situation because he got lost in the mix at Alabama. If he'd took his ass to Ohio State, he'd took his ass to University of Illinois. If he'd took his ass to Tennessee initially, then Alvin Kamara would have been one of the top running backs coming out of football, but he had to transfer, and then it was a whole bunch of bullshit. And you know, Nick Saban probably put the hot sauce on his name. So you know, it's as the song say, politics and the sneaker pimps, Jungle Brother. That's all I'm saying. You know, it was just he was in the wrong place at the wrong time. But hey, man, he finna get paid now. And how about this, man? Speaking of the draft, I was thinking about this. I didn't even write it in my notes. I should have. But what do y'all think about this? Seeing how they always hosing these young quarterbacks, would you not try to do as well in the combine so you can be a second round pick or lower so you can get a 3-year contract and get to that money faster? Would you do that if you were a up and coming draft pick? That's just something that popped through my head. I'd like to just see y'all opinions on that. I could be crazy. Well, I am crazy, but that could sound crazy. But it's just something to think about. If you are a low first round running back pick, projected low first rounder, would you sacrifice $8 or $9 million to get to the big money faster? Because they're not like Kareem Hunt. If Kareem Hunt don't kick that girl in the behind a year ago, Kareem Hunt would be up for the big bread now, and then bam. So should running backs not try to be first round picks? If you're not in the, even though there's no lottery in the NFL, but if you're not a lottery style pick, would you sacrifice being picked in the first round so you can hurry up and get to the big money, and then you won't have to deal with that what's my man name Bell, Le'Veon Bell situation, Jersey? Who would be dumb enough to take that deal? We stuck in the stuck. Oh, y'all talking about that? Oh, okay. Now Murray went to the Saints. He was with Drew Brees now and with Kamara now. Yes. Why not A-Rap getting in the league? Getting in the league is hard. Exactly. And I was thinking that, but it's kind of hard to tell somebody to turn down $6-7 extra $1 million, Chief. That's what, it's just something that bounced off my head. You know, I'm a loner, bro. I spend a lot of time alone. You know, that's why I be talking to damn Mo Cheese a lot. Whack Mo. But yeah, it's just something that bounced off my head. Would you sacrifice a couple of $1 million up front, get you an insurance policy, live like the young brother live like the young brother from the Denver Broncos, living in his mom and his daddy's basement, and then get to that paper quicker, then it's over. That's all I'm saying. Yeah. Because once you make your name and over that 3-year period, they got to pay you. They gotta pay you, and then you ain't got to deal with the franchise tag. Because y'all really gonna franchise tag a 4th round pick, and then I can go to one of these whack teams and get paid, and more paid. Shout out to Luther Campbell in the building. With that being said, and since I'm behind schedule, I'm going to go ahead and start with the Supreme Court. I ain't got the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, but I do have this. Today's Supreme Court is compiled of players who are in the playoffs, who I think are the kinds of players that you can build your team around. This is the A-Rap way. I don't care if you like it, homie, but it's going to be the A-Rap way, bro. But these are the guys from 9 to 1 who I think you can build a franchise around. What I mean by build a franchise around, all of these guys are franchise players as of right now. As of this very moment, they are all franchise players. They are some of the best players in all of the sport. But I believe, and this is the rank, if they were getting drafted today, I would draft them in this rank in accordance to their importance on a team without their teammates. Yes, in their particular situation, everybody looks good in their particular situation. But can you start a franchise with this guy? Of course, we're not going to make it. If they're over 30, we're going to give them 2 more years. We're going to take you back to 28. Hypothetically speaking, everybody on this list is between 18 and 28. That way you can get 6 to 8 prime years out the dude. So, with that being said, okay, let me see it. My man Chief Rocker said, look at Shepard from the Giants. He's getting paid, and from the lower round. Exactly. Like that clown Nick Saban said, oh, well, if you don't want to blah, 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 blah. Get the fuck out of here, Nick Saban. Shut up. Shut up, son. But get paid and get paid fast. That's the A-Rap way. Now, number 9. This is going to be an extremely shocking pick, but I'm only picking from the players who are currently in the playoffs. These are the players in accordance to these are the rules. Again, the rules are, if you were starting a franchise with this dude at age 25, that's going to make everybody 25 years old, and you had your own franchise and no teammates around, you're going to get a very good coach. This is the order I would pick these players. Number 9 would be one of the greatest shooters of all time. He is great handle, great head on the shoulder, great nose for the ball. He is an awesome ball player, but Stephen Curry is my number 9 pick. I believe Stephen Curry is a Hall of Famer. I believe Stephen Curry has all-around game. I'm not finna hold defense against nobody, because nobody ever held defense against one of my favorite players, Earvin Magic Johnson. I've never heard all this talk about people playing defense up until we got to this sports cycle where we don't celebrate what players do. We tear them down for what they don't do. Obviously, everybody can improve on their abilities, but we hardly ever talk about what players can do. But with that being said, Stephen Curry will be the number 9 pick in the all H-Rap draft, because I believe he's an excellent ball player, but I don't believe if you just started a franchise with him and build around him, he wouldn't be able to effectively get your team where they want it to be as fast as these other players. Not saying that he wouldn't, but he wouldn't get you there fast as the other players. When you, my opinion, when you depend on your jump shot as much as him, and he has very little explosion to the basket, he has limited lift. I just don't think you can build a franchise around him exclusively and take off immediately. The Golden State Warriors just showed you can build around him, but you can't take off with him immediately. And that goes to one Stephen Curry. Big ups to him. Before I go ahead, the Nazi Football League, the NFL, is showing who they giving money to: the white quarterbacks, linemen, and pro white defenders, and Hall of Fame black quarterbacks only. Hey man, it started to look that way, but you know what, Jungle? You can only hold people back for so long. You can only see, the thing is, I really believe there are a lot of these owners that are biased like that, but you know what? At some point, ego kicks in, and they just like having a pissing contest, and they're no, that's the retarded thing about being a racist or a bigot or a separatist or any type of ism that you have. You will set, most of those dudes will set that quote unquote hatred to the side to make themselves look better than one of their cohorts. So that's why it's gonna happen for a little while, and then you're gonna have to pay because you get tired. You know, the Jerry Joneses of the world, the Maras of the world, the rest of these cats, the dude who owned the Ravens, and the rest of these dudes, they get tired of losing after a while, and then they just go ahead pay the piper. Some of these dudes hold to their guns, but a lot of them just gonna go ahead pay the piper, and that's when you get your breakthrough. Hey man, it's about patience and being, you know, that's why I say get the money now, because they not trying to ain't nobody really trying to pay you, so get the money when you can. And when I get to this Dak Prescott topic, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. The next dude up on my list, number 8 on my list, one of the premier defenders in the league, has very good explosion to the basket, has lift, has one of the better jumpers for a guy his size. He can defend 1 through 4. I'm not going to tell that lie. He can defend 1 through 5. He's awesome off the dribble. He's awesome on-ball defender. He has led a team to conference finals before, losing to one LeBron James. Had a horrific injury. He's totally back now. I believe if you put Paul George on a scrubbed out ass team with a solid coach, he can get you in the playoffs and contention a little faster than most. So big ups to Paul George. My next guy is a guy who has fallen up under insane criticism over the last season or two. Now, allow me to preface what I'm about to say with this. I understand the shortcomings of this guy's game, but this is when I always say we need to start watching we start using our muscle memory. And what I mean by using your muscle memory is this. Remember what happened, not just what you have been shown. Because if you remember what happened and not just what you've been shown, you'll put yourself in a position not to look foolish. Let's go back to the end of last season when our brother Joel Embiid got hurt. Joel Embiid was hurt the last 15, 20 games of the season. This dude, Ben Simmons, who's the next person on my list, number 8 on my list, he took over the Philadelphia 76ers, running the team. He was crashing the boards. He was playing defense, running the offense, dunking on people, setting up people. It looked like his team. He did the same thing a couple of nights ago, and I'm going to talk about that a little later. And we had nothing to say about it. Ben Simmons is an awesome ball player who gets very little credit. All we talk about is he needs to have a jump shot. Indeed, he does. Everybody in the history of the league needs a jump shot. But let's also not forget, Ben Simmons, who needs a jump shot, took over the Philadelphia 76ers for the last 20, 25 games of the season last year. He's taken over the last 2 or 3 games in the playoffs this year, and he's looking relatively unstoppable. Does he need to improve? Hell yeah. But guess what? He's played arguably 165, 170 games in the NBA right now. After 165, 170 games in the league, Magic Johnson needed a jumper, Dr. J needed a jumper, Michael Jordan needed a jumper, and countless others. I remember when Glenn Rice